Okay, guys. In this video, I'll be explaining how to make use of BingX exchange to enter a futures trade, right? But let me say how to pick signal using the BingX exchange. So if you don't have a BingX exchange account, check the pinned comment. Well, let me say the description box of this video. There is a link attached where you can create a BingX account, and you'll be eligible for some bonuses. And once you create account, click on this profile icon. You click on the profile icon, you complete your KYC. It is verification state to here. You can see verified. Once you are verified, the verified button will show up. So after you have been verified, I won't bother explaining other things, how to deposit and do everything. I believe some of you know how to do that. So you come to the futures section. This video is particularly for futures trading, right? So come to the futures section. You can see it here. So once you are on the futures section, you can see different things here. So let me start by the pair. Now, this thing here, it will be BTC USDT, right? But note, it's not every time that you have to trade BTC USDT. There are a lot of coins available to be traded on the futures market, right? And BingX Exchange has many coins to be traded also. So it depends on your for those of you that know how to do technical analysis, it depends on the technical analysis that you did, the coin you analyzed, and which one you want to enter. You understand? If you don't know how to do technical analysis, you can actually have someone that will be providing signals for you. All you need to do is to get the signal from him, and you come here and you enter, you stake amount, you do your risk management and everything. So that is it. So the first thing you have to take note of is the pair, right? So it all depends on the currency that was analyzed. For example, I will be using this analysis that I'm just doing here. As you can see the token, I analyzed NIUSDT, and network is a bit slow. Yeah, you can see I analyzed NIUSDT, and this is the trade that I actually want to enter. So the first thing you have to take note of is the pair. So now, because I want to enter NIUSDT trading, I will change this pair from BTC USDT to NIUSDT. You can see different types of tokens here. So just select the one that you want to trade. You can search it. So let me search NIUSDT. You can see it here. So I'll click on it, NIUSDT. So once you have selected the pair, right, there is what we call margin mode. So the margin mode, we have two types of margin. We have the isolated and the cross margin. Now let me explain this thing. This isolate, let me start with the isolated. The isolated margin, right, is a type of margin where you allocate a certain amount of money to the trade that you want to enter. For example, let's say you have $1,000 in your wallet, then you decide to enter a trade with $400, right? You know you are left with $600, right? So if it goes into liquidation, the $400 will be gone. Liquidation means you have lost everything in that trade. Maybe you did not use stop loss, you understand? If you are an expert in technical analysis, there is no way you will get liquidated if you know what you are doing, right? But let's say you don't know what you are doing and you entered you use isolated margin mode to enter a trade with $400. If that trade goes into liquidation, you are going to lose the whole of that $400. But the $600 that you did not enter that trade with will be there. You understand? Then for the cross margin now, for the cross margin from the name cross, it will cross. You understand? Let's say you have $1,000, you enter trade with $400, and that $400 goes into liquidation. You will not be totally liquidated. The money will cross to the remaining $600. Till you lose the whole money in your exchange before you now get into liquidation. I don't know if you understand this. So if you are getting liquidated on cross margin, you are going to lose the whole of that $1,000, not just the $400 that you enter that trade with. I don't know if you understand. So it's kind of risky, but it also has its own advantage, right? The cross and isolate. But for newbies, I would advise you make use of the isolated margin so that even if you make any mistake and you goes into liquidation, you are going to only lose the money that you entered the trade with, and the rest of the money will be secured. But if you are using cross margin, right, the whole of that money, not only the money you staked in that trade will be gone, plus the one that you did not even stake that is available in your futures listing will also be gone. The advantage of this cross margin now is for the fact that your liquidation price will always be very, very far from your entry. Like it will take a long period of time before you get liquidated. I don't know if you understand, because the position, the money you are using the collateral for that trade is the whole of that. You just entered with $400, but the whole of that $1,000 will be what will hold your trade. So that is it. Can make use of the isolated, but me, I love the cross margin because it makes me have good. I can decide to use a big stop loss. So I will explain stop loss and I will explain the liquidation price also as we are going. Then the next thing here is the leverage, right? Now let's use isolated, right? Like I said, isolated. And the next thing here is the leverage. You can see it here. Now these are two leverages. Everywhere you see, anywhere you see a red something, it is for the short position, right? And when you hear of the word short position, it means you are predicting something to come down. You understand? If you are shorting, you are telling the thing to come down. If you are longing, you are telling the thing to go up. You understand? Long always has this green color, and the short always has this red color, right? Now, you can see you have different leverages. You have 1x, you have 1x, sorry, you have from 1x leverage to 50x leverage, depending on the pair. Some pairs like BTC, you might have up to 100. Depending on the pair, sha, if you choose another currency now, you might see a leverage of up to 100, some 150, some 200. You understand? But this coin is kind of volatile. The movement is kind of, and it's kind of a volatile coin. That is why the leverage is at only, you can only use 50x leverage. Now, let me explain what is leverage. When you see the word, when you see leverage, it is used to increase your position, to multiply your money for you. You understand? It's kind of like they use this to borrow you money for you to enter a trade with. Let's say you have $100 and you want to enter a trade with $1,000. You don't have $1,000, right? But you have $100. Now, using leverage, you can decide to use 10x leverage, which is, let me do the calculation. So if you have $100 and you multiply it by 10, you can see you have 1,000 USDT. So let's say you have $100, but you want to enter a trade with $1,000. All you have to do is to make use of 10x leverage. You understand? Then this 10x leverage, now they will now multiply your $100 for you and make it $1,000, so you can enter that trade with it. I don't know if you understand for the long position, and if it is short, you make use of this one. They are all the same, but just depending on the type of this thing that you want to, the type of trade you want to enter, the short and the long. Now, what this leverage does is that, for example, let's say now that I want to enter NIUSDT, right? If NI move with just 1% and I am using 20x leverage, right? The movement will be 20x from my own side. You understand? The movement of that token multiplied by the type of leverage I'm using. If I'm using 50x leverage and NI moves by just 1%, at my own end, it will be 50% movement that we see. Why? Because I'm using a leverage. You understand? Then the disadvantage of leveraging here is for the fact that as you are making huge money with just little percent, that is how you are going to lose huge money. As you are making huge money with a little amount of movement, that's how you are going to lose huge money with a little amount of movement also. For example, let's say you enter a trade, an NR trade, this NIUSDT, right? I entered it with 20x leverage. You understand? And it's now decided the token now went against me. Maybe I predicted the price to go up and the token now came down by 1%. Instead of me to just lose 1%, I'll be losing 20%. I don't know if you understand, because I'm using 20x leverage. So if you are using huge amount of leverage, it's quick profit, quick loss. That is just it. Quick profits, quick loss. So it has its own advantage and it also has its own disadvantage. If you are just starting, I will advise you make use of 20x or 30x leverage. You understand? Because this is futures trading. You cannot be using 10x or 1x. It doesn't really make sense. But 20x is kind of, and if you know your risk management safe, me at times I'm using 50. Maybe if I want to enter BTC, I can use like 100 because I know my risk management level. But as you are starting, make use of 20x so that you understand the system very well. So that is it for the cross. Then we have this thing here for that type, right? We have the limits and we have the market. So now let me explain this to also. Yeah, my mic is still working. So for the limit price, this limit price, right? You will use it. For example, now you can see that this analysis that I did. Let me open it. So this analysis that I did, I'm not just entering the trade. I'm waiting for the price to come to this level first, 0.6311 level before I will enter it. You understand? But the thing here is that I might not be active when this thing will come to this level for me to enter. That is where limit orders come. This limit order is just like you have an agent. Let me explain this thing like those that do trade in market. Let's say you have an agent in the market, right? And you want to buy rice. But the current price, you want to buy rice at the rate of 1,000. But the current price of that rice as of that particular period is 1,200 naira. You understand? But you want to buy it at 1,000. So what you have to do is to just give agent 1,000 naira. Then you now tell them, okay, this agent too, when the price of the rice gets to 1,000, please help me to buy it and keep. Understand? That is limit order. It will automatically buy for you. The app will automatically buy for you when it gets to that certain amount of price that you are expecting to buy from. You understand? But for market price, it is just like you entering the market and buying it at any rate that you see. Let's say you enter the market and you saw rice at 1 2, you just decided to buy it at market price. You know you have already entered the trade immediately. You understand? You bought it at that 1 2, and your position is already open. You have already purchased it. If the price starts pumping at that particular period of time, you start making profit. If it starts dipping, you start losing money. But for the limit order, the one you gave agent money, if the price of rice didn't get to 1,000, he will not buy it. And let's say it was at 1 2, it now started pumping to 1 3, 1 4, 1 5. You will not make profit. Why? Because your agent has not bought it yet. It hasn't reached 1,000 for your agent to enter the trade for you. But once it reaches 1,000, your agent will just automatically buy the rice for you at 1,000. Then if it starts dropping, you start losing money. And if it starts pumping from that 1,000 again, you start making profit. That is just it. So limit order helps you to automatically set a trade that will trigger in some certain period of time. You understand? Then for the market, you enter it immediately. You understand? And your position starts trading. These are the difference. But this type of trade, like I analyze this trade, you can see that the price is yet to come to where I want it to come before it starts going up. You understand? So I will set a limit order. If let's say the price was at that range of my order block entry price, the range of my entry price, I will have just used market. You understand? Market, and just enter the trade immediately, and it will trigger, and my position will start counting. So that is the difference between the limits and the market. I don't want to explain all this, but for now, most of at times I don't think you are going to use this self. Just know how to make use of the limit and the market, right? Then the next thing here is the price here. This is always your entry price, right? You can see that my entry price here is what 0.6311, right? So you change the entry price to 0.6311. It all depends on your analysis. You understand? If you are using someone's signal, the person will tell you the entry price. And even if the person don't didn't tell you the entry price, this is always where the entry price is. Beginning of that red box, it's your price. And this is always your stop loss, and this is always your take profit. I will explain that also. So the entry price 0.6311, and you enter 0.6311. Then the cost, right? The cost. Now let me explain this entry price again. You see that I'm able to put entry price here because of the limit order, but if I change it to market, you can see that the entry price is no longer there, meaning that I will enter this trade immediately with the current price, which is 0.6642. Me, I don't want to enter that because it's going against my own analysis. You understand? So I will change it to limit and input the price I want to enter at 0.6311. I hope you are understanding. Then the cost. This is the amount of money you want to use to enter this trade. You get? Now there are three methods here: by amount of the coin, by USDT the cost, then by value. Let me explain these three ones. This first one that you are seeing is you are using the coin to enter the trade. Let's say now ENA is at 0.66, right? If I'm entering by ENA, I will just put the amount of N that I want to buy. You understand? I will put like if I put like 4 times 0.6 is how much? If I put 4, that is 4 times 0.6. That means I will be staking $2.4 on that trade. If I'm entering by N and I put 4, then I'm staking 2.4. But you have to do all those calculations, which is kind of, I don't like it also. Then by cost in USDT, all you need to do is just like say, okay, me, I have $10 that I want to risk on this trade. So the app will automatically calculate how many N that $10 can buy for you. You understand? That is just it. Then by value, this is by value USDT, right? It will calculate the price, the cost plus the leverage that you are using. You understand? And the money will appear in leveraging. For example, let's say now you can see this trade, right? I have let's say I want to enter. You can see the leverage I'm using. For a long position, I'm using 50x leverage. It's at 50x, right? So if I want to enter this trade with $100, instead of me to type the $100, because this one I'm using other value, I will type um around, because I'm using 50x, how many? Now let's say 50 times my $100. This is $5,000. That is the real value of the trade. 5,000. You understand? You can see it here, 5,000, which the margin is 100, telling you that you are risking $100. Your own real money is $100 on that trade, but your own money plus the leverage that you are using is making the total value of that trade to be $5,000. I don't know if you understand, but all these calculations, I don't like them. So make use of this one by cost. You just input how much you want to risk on that trade. Sorry, how much you want to stake on that trade. Now I have 150 USDT. Let me divide it into three so that I will be able to stake it for the next three um trades I will be taking. Maybe if I want to take three trades at the same time, I'll divide them into three, which I have 115. I'll do 50, 50, 50 for the next three trades, right? So I want to stake 50 USDT. You can see now. I'll just put 50 USDT. Then the exchange will help you calculate the value and everything. You understand? You don't need to do all those calculations. Just put how much you want to risk. Now, this 50 will be multiplied by the leverage, which is 50x leverage, and the value of that trade will be 5,000 USDT. Note the value of the trade will be 5,000 because of the leveraging and everything. Yeah, that is it. Then for the next thing here is what? The take profit and the stop loss. You can see it here, the TP and the Excel. Now this thing is very, very important when it comes to trading, right? In fact, to me, the stop loss is the most important thing. That is the thing I always look at, because it helps you manage your risk. It helps you plan your trade. With your stop loss, you actually know what you are doing in the market. You know how much you will be losing per trade. Please don't don't take your stop loss to a very huge amount of money that will get you liquidated, that your stop loss might not even trigger before your liquidation price, which means the stop loss doesn't has any use. Stop loss will help you not to get liquidated. If you use a very good stop loss, there is no way you will get liquidated if you know how to use stop loss. You understand? So this aspect I want to explain is very, very important. Okay. So if you want to use pull stop loss price and the take profit price, the stop loss price will automatically close the trade for you when you lose money to some certain amount uh of level. As you can see this is where I put my stop loss. According to my analysis, this is where my stop loss is supposed to be, 0.6058, right? So this means that once I start losing this trade to this certain place, right? Because this is the entry price. So I'm supposed to buy from here. If I buy from here, let me use this one. Take note of this blue dot, these blue dots here. I'll be using it to explain. So this is where I will start buying from. This is my entry price, 0.6331, right? So I'm expecting it to come to this level to trigger my position and to start going up. You understand? So when it is going up, I'll be making profit, I'll be making profit, I'll be making profit, I'll be profit. But once it's reached this level, which is my take profit, it will automatically close the profit for me. You understand? Maybe if I'm not online, it will automatically close the profit for me and everything to close the trade. You understand? So that maybe if it pumps to this level and it went to my take profit and I did not close, it can decide to start coming down which will make me lose money. I made profit, but it was audio profit. Why? Because I did not close the trade. You understand? So making use of take profit is important, but the stop loss is the most important thing. Now the stop loss is if I enter here, you understand, and you can see that if it continues to come down, I am losing money because I predicted the thing to go up. So I started losing money. I started losing money. I started losing money, but it came to this level 0.6058, right? Immediately it comes to this 0.6058, it will automatically close the trade for me with the little amount of money that I have lost. It will automatically close it so that I will not get liquidated, because if the thing continues to come down, that is how I will continue to lose money until I liquidate all the money in my account. You understand? If it is in cross margin, you don't use stop loss. If it continues to goes down, the whole of your money in your account will be gone. If it is isolated, the whole of the money you use to enter that trade will be gone. You understand? That is why stop loss is very, very important. So I will input the stop loss amount is 0.6058. So this is how I will come back here 0.6058, but 0.1658. Now here, click on advanced so that you will see how much you are going to be losing. So that you see how much you are going to be losing. You understand? So I will click on advanced. So the stop loss price is 0.6058, you can see, and I entered the trade with $50. I will be losing $97. Now, why will I enter a trade with $50 and be losing $97? So this stop loss doesn't basically make sense. Now, what I will do is, it is either I decrease my leverage or I decrease the money I'm entering that trade with. You understand? And you need to take note that your stop loss must come before your liquidation price, right? Liquidation price is the level of price when, if that thing gets to, you will lose the entire money, depending if you are on isolated or on the cross margin. You can see that the thing are now aligning now. So take note of this liquidation price. You can see that the liquidation price for the long setup is 0.6237. Now it is telling you that once the price of this thing gets to 0.6237 at this region, yeah, around this region, you can I don't know if you are seeing this blue line, please make use of it. 0.62 something around this region, sha. Once it starts dipping from where I purchased it, right, from this place, and it come to that level, I will immediately lose the whole money. And you can see where I place my stop loss, which doesn't make any sense, right? So what you have to do is to adjust your liquidation price to like this place now, because before it comes to this place, it will have automatically closed by your it will have automatically getting closed by your stop loss, so that you no lose money up to that level. Now what you have to do is to now decrease your leverage. You understand? You have to decrease your leverage. You can see the advantage of leverage, right? Decrease your leverage to like 20x. Okay, now if I decrease my leverage 0.63, my entry price is 0.6311. I'm coming, it has not reflected. You can see that as I decrease the leverage to 20x, the liquidation price came back to 0.6046. You get 0.6046 is where you can see 0.6046 here around the stop loss price also, and I still don't like it that way. I want the liquidation price to be somewhere down here. You understand? Somewhere down here. So for me to have a risk-free trade, right? So I will decrease the leverage again. Let's say now I'll decrease the leverage to like 10x. Okay, 0.6311, the entry price. Now you can see where my liquidation price is now, 0.5728, right? So this is where 0.57 is, 0.5728, around this region, 0.57 something. You can see now that even before the price will come to my liquidation price where we get liquidated, the stop loss I use must have already helped me to close that trade for me. You understand? Now let's use the stop loss now, 0.6058, right? The price of the stop loss is 0.6058. We come back, advance 0.6058. No, advanced. Yeah. You can see how much I'm going to lose on this trade. I'll be losing $19, right? Let's say I want to risk only $10 on the trade. So now I'll be losing $19. Instead, let me change the cost to what? To $50 to $25 because $50 will make me to lose 90, which is around 20. So I will divide it by two because I don't want to lose $19 on the trade. I want to risk only $10 out of my $150. So I will change it to 25. This thing will not change your liquidation price. You understand? Because it will not change your liquidation price, except if we are using cross margin. So just make your calculations like this, the way I'm just doing now. So advanced 0.6058. You can see that now that I reduced the cost, I have reduced the stop loss amount also. So this means that if I lose this trade, if this trade hits my stop loss, I'll be losing only $10. You understand? And the take profit price, which is here 0.7675, 0.7675. You can see how much I'm going to be making. I will make $53. I don't know if you understand. I only staked $25 on this trade, and if it goes against my analysis, I'll be losing $10. And if it goes with my analysis, I'll be making $53 profit, which this is basically like 1:5 risk to reward ratio. You understand? This has to do with risk management and everything. I don't know if let me just explain this thing here. Yeah, you can see that now I am losing $10 on the trade if the trade goes against me. But if I win the trade, I'll be making $53, which means that I have to lose like four times. Sorry, I have to lose like five times. If I lose five times, I lose $50, right? But if I win only one trade, I'll be able to recover the whole of that five trades that I lose. I don't know if you get it. If I lose one trade, $10 is gone. I lose the second trade, another $10 is gone, which is 20. Third trade, fourth trade, fifth trade, I will lose a total of $50 with five trades. But if I win just one trade, I will make a total profit of $53. I don't know if you understand. So that means if I lose four trades and I win only one trade, I will be on like $10 profit. That is risk management. Four trade loss, one trade wins, and you are on $10 profit, which is very good. And if you know how to do technical analysis very well, there is no way you are going to lose four trades and win one trade safe. If you are good at analysis, maybe your win rate will be 50-50. You lose two trades, you win two trades, which will give you like $40 profit. I don't know if you understand. So that is just it. Then I'll set my everything. Now that I've set everything, I'll click on OK. You can see that my SL price is there, my take profit price is there, and everything. Now, then the type of trade I'm entering, long. I'll click on open long. Remember, I'm predicting the price to come to this level and go up. So I'll just click on open long. Then I'll click on OK. Always take note that your liquidation price should not come before your stop loss. Stop loss should always come before liquidation price. Because if you get liquidated before stop loss, what are you putting stop loss for? Remember, if this liquidation occurs, I'm going to lose the whole $25 I entered that trade with. But if the stop loss occur, I will be losing only $10 because that is what I want to lose on this trade. That is the advantage of stop loss. Please always adjust your leverage to have a very good stop loss. Don't get liquidated Take note of this liquidation price. Don't get liquidated. I cannot remember last I got liquidated on a trade. How will I even get liquidated? Because I know what I'm doing. I will not get liquidated. That is just it. I think it was when I was learning how to trade. That was when I actually got liquidated. But it was an experience because I was just learning. But I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. So take note of that thing very well. I will, like I said, I'm making this video too because of the signal group I'm about to open. So for those of you that will come across this video on YouTube, all you have to just do is to register a BingX account using my link. Then you can send me a message and I will add you to the group, the signal group, where it will be even open for you guys to even ask you question, and I will be there to be your guide and to help out. That is just it. You just need to enter like let's say 5 trades, 6 trade, and you become an expert with all this. You can see that now I have these orders here. I have the orders. So once this thing comes to this place, once the price comes to my entry price, it will automatically open the trade for me. And even if I'm not online and it goes to my take profit, it will automatically close the take profit for me. And if I'm not online and I lose money to this certain level, it will automatically close the trade for me on that loss, that $10 loss also. So that is basically it. If I drop signal for you, don't adjust the stop loss so that you lose little. Someone can say that you want to, okay, since I'll be losing $10, let me adjust the stop loss to this level so that we lose $5. Don't do that. Don't do that, because if you are doing that, you are going against your own analysis. There is a reason why I put the stop loss to be that price, that 0.60. You understand? Which is like my support line. Those of you that know technical analysis will understand. But if you don't know technical analysis, you don't need to worry yourself about that, because I will be the one to be providing signals. That is it. Then I don't know. For those of you that will be trading with like $10, hmm, let's say I want to still enter this trade with $10. All I will do is put the cost to be $1. If I have $10, I'll be risking $1 or $2 on each trade. You understand? $1 or $2 on each trade, which if I'm risking $2, I will be able, sorry, if I'm staking price is different from the money you are putting at risk. If I stake $2, I will not lose the whole of that $2 except if I goes into liquidation, which if you know what you are doing, it should not even happen, right? So you can stake $2 for one trade. The reason why you are not staking all money is because of, if you open this position, right, with $2, you might see another sweet setup and you won't want to close the one that you have entered. You understand? So if you see another switch setup, you will now use another $2 and stake on that particular trade. You'll be left with 6. Then you now see another switch and you stake another $2. You'll be able to enter like 5 trades per day. You understand? 5 trades with that $10, 5 trades. So if you close another one, you now open another one. I don't know if you understand. So you'll be able to have 5 trades, because at times you might be in a certain trade and you now see a switch setup. If you use the whole of your money, you won't be able to enter the other one. That is just it. Use your $2 or $1. Let's say $2 for for 5 trades, $2. Then your stop loss price. Your stop loss price should be like you losing $1 per trade, which means you have to lose $10 for you to lose the whole of your money. You need to lose 10 trades. That is it. If you're losing, if your stop loss is $1 on each trade, you have to lose 10 trades consecutively, straight 10 trades losses before you lose the whole of your capital. Which also, if you are good at what you are doing, that will not even happen. So I think that is all for that. I have explained almost everything. So let me just enter the trade with $2 shares so that you guys can see. So if I'm using $2, I'll click on advanced. The stop loss is where 0.6084. You can see that I'll be losing $1.61 because of the leveraging. You can see that liquidation price. Where is my listing? The liquidation price is kind of close to my stop loss. I want to take it to like 0.5. What do I do? Just decrease the leverage. Let me decrease the leverage to like 5x. Okay, what was my entry price? Sorry, let me leave it at 10x first since I did not change the entry price. Yeah, entry price should be 0.6311. 6311. You can see that the liquidation price is around 0.5 something, which is kind of far from my stop loss. Yeah. Then the advanced stop loss is where 0.6084. So you can see that I will lose $0.7 on this trade. And I said I want to lose, let's say 0.5. So what you have to do is to decrease the money you are risking, right? You are staking, sorry. So let me decrease it to like $1.5 advanced. I'll be staking $1.5 instead. $0.6084. You can see that the money I will lose if the trade goes against me is $0.53, right? And the take profit is where 0.7675. So I will lose 0.5 if the trade goes against me, but if I win the trade, I will win 3.22 USDT. Do you see the difference? The difference is very clear now. So that is just it. Then you click on OK, then you open long. If it is a short trade, predicting the price to come down, to be open shorts, and you are going to take note of the leverage also. So I think I've explained everything. $10 is enough for you to start trading. You understand? You can see I used $1.5 to enter this trade with a profit of around $3. If you get two good trades that will hit your take profit per day is $6. You have $10 in your account and you made $6, risking just $0.5 and using only $1.5 to enter a trade. So that is basically it.